Hey guys, Metal Viking 82 here, back with a new Viking Orations for you today. I was meaning to do this a couple days ago, basically right after this event took place, but we're actually getting ready to go out of town tomorrow, and I've been really busy trying to get stuff ready for that. So this is the first chance I've really had to record any video, and yeah, what I'm going to be talking to you about is, if you can't tell by the title of this video, is seeing the legendary Obituary and Exodus on their Battle of the Bays tour. They came to Indianapolis this past Thursday, and me and my nephew went to go see them, and very, very killer night, I have to say. It was a mini firsts for us, because not only had we never seen Exodus or Obituary live, and in fact, we'd never even heard, or should I say, we never even seen their support acts, which were Dust Bolt and Power Trip live. But besides that being a first for us, this was also the very first time I upgraded our tickets to the VIP package. And the main reason that I did that is because, you know, we had a chance to meet, as they described it, select members of Obituary and Exodus. And seeing as how Obituary is one of my nephew's favorite bands, I thought, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to go ahead and get the upgrade. I thought it would be a cool thing for not only him to meet one of his favorite bands, but I really wanted to meet him too. Because, you know, even if I only met a couple members, it would still be a experience for us. So I did that, and I'm really glad that I did, because it was an amazing experience. And I will talk more about that at the end of this, because right now I just want to kind of talk about the actual show, and then at the end I'll talk about the merch that I got, and also the VIP experience, the meet and greet, and how that went. But yeah, first up for the night was Dust Bolt, and as I said, I was not familiar with them. I knew their name because I'd seen it thrown around here and there, but I really, as I've said in the past, don't really look for thrash bands like I used to. I kind of listen mainly to the stuff that I'm used to, and they really have to be something, I guess you can say, special or very, you know, good to really catch my attention. Or if a lot of friends are telling me, hey, you need to check these guys out, they're really fucking good, they're actually very impressive, because it's hard for a lot of modern thrash bands to really impress, because a lot of them try to rehash stuff that's already been done. But anyway, I had not heard a single note that these guys had played until that night, and I gotta say, they really, really impressed me, and played a very energetic set, and I really got into it. And the front man is just, you know, really energetic, really interacted with the crowd. And I thought about actually going and picking up one of their albums after their set, but the lines over there were still really super long. People were still, you know, filing in, and then of course other people had the same idea as me, going over there and trying to get into the merch. So I was just like, I was like, I'll probably pick something up, you know, down the line. But next up was Power Trip, and I knew them a little bit more than Dust Bolt, because, you know, a lot of people mentioned them more than they had Dust Bolt to me. And the funny thing is, again, I had not heard a note from them until the day of the concert, and I even had their debut album. I had bought it specifically because I knew I was going to be seeing them live, and I wanted to kind of get myself familiar with a little bit of their material before I got up there. And I actually listened to their CD all the way up to Pick Up Tyler, and then on the way to the concert. So that was my kind of little preview of what I was getting into, and I was just blown away by the CD, and I was just like, yeah, I've got to pick up their other one if they have it there. And you know, I wanted to get a shirt, and I was like, I cannot wait to see these guys set, especially. And they did not disappoint. They blew Dust Bolt out of the water, in my opinion. They were so fucking heavy, so tight. And it was funny because I was looking at the drummer, and I was like, oh my god, he kind of reminds you of Canyon. So I actually text Canyon, I'm like, dude, the drummer for Power Trip looks almost like you. And he was like, no shit, I gotta look this up. And he was like, holy fuck, I actually see it. So yeah, now, and then the whole time I was watching their set, I just kept thinking that was Canyon up there playing drums from, which was kind of weird. But yeah, they put on a really killer set. And, you know, I went to their merch booth beforehand, and unfortunately they didn't have a shirt in my size, but I did pick up some stuff from their booth, which, like I said, I will show later. And then the legendary Obituary. as I've said before, they are considered not only legends in death metal, but also forefathers of like the Floridian sound of death metal. And yeah, it was well worth the price of admission just to see them play live, because they totally killed it. They were tight, and just, John Tardy was just like all, really into it. Trevor Perez, it was funny because a lot of times he would just like bent over, his hair hanging down loose, and he was just kind of whipping his hair back and forth. Then he would really get into it. And, the whole band played flawlessly. They played a lot of really cool songs. I heard, Finally Arise. God, I'm trying to think of some of the others that they played. But they ended the set with Slowly Rewrought, and that was a definite highlight. They killed it. I mean, out of the 3 bands that I actually stayed to see the whole set from, they were tops, in my opinion. And it was definitely a really cool experience. And the reason I say that I stayed for is because I only actually got to watch a couple songs of Exodus play. And the reason was Tyler had worked that morning, and then he had to actually be up early the next morning to go to work. And, we kind of discussed it, and he's like, do you want to stay for the whole set, or do you want to, And I said, you got to work in the morning. I said, as long as we stay for just a couple songs, I said, I could at least say, hey, I've seen Exodus live. I've witnessed them, and, seeing those 2 songs was really cool, so I can at least, if we ever get a chance to see them again, I'm definitely going to enjoy their set. So, unfortunately, we didn't get to stay for all of Exodus, but, again, what can you do? So, yeah, on to the actual merch that I got. As I said, I went to Power Trip's booth. They did not have anything in my size. They only went up to 2X, which really sucks. And so I'm going to try to find a place that has shirts in my size. But I did pick up their new album, Nightmare Logic, which they actually did play a couple songs off of this. They played the title track, Executioner's Tax, Swing of the Axe, which was fucking amazing. They played Firing Squad. So yeah, definitely check these guys out if you have not heard them yet. And if you get a chance to see them live, definitely do so. And also picked up the debut Manifest Decimation on vinyl. And this is just a standard black vinyl. And then, of course, had to pick up the new one on vinyl as well. Here's Nightmare Logic. And this one is actually a colored vinyl, and it is a really fucking cool color, I have to say. Get this out of here. It's limited to 500 copies. That'd be nice if I don't drop it. Purple with a little bit of marbling in it. So, yeah. Really glad I picked this up, and it was really cheap too. It was only like, both vinyl were only like 15 bucks. So basically for the 2 vinyl and the CD, I paid $40, so I couldn't beat that. Now, as for Exodus, I didn't get a whole lot from them. I did get a Bonded by Blood patch, as well as this nice little button set, which I thought was really cool. And I did pick up a shirt, and they only had 2 that were in 3X, and I really like this design the most. On the back, got the tour dates, so really happy about that. And as for Obituary, as you can see, I'm gonna take this off. Got a nice hat here from them, which I really was excited that they had. And I got a sticker in this killer t-shirt. And on the back, sorry it's a little wrinkly because I actually just wore this yesterday, so I gotta throw this in the laundry. Florida Death Metal on the back. And the only other shirt they had that was in 3X was actually a long sleeve, which actually comes in handy because it's going to be getting colder here in Indiana soon. Had that. And a little design on the sleeve. And Obituary on the back. So, the VIP meet and greet. As I said, you know, we actually got to go in early. And surprisingly, there were only like 6 of us total that actually got the VIP thing, and I was really surprised by that. But it was kind of cool because, you know, it means we could, you know, spend a little bit more time and not be rushed, I guess you can say. And they told us, okay, you know, you're going to go in, the band's going to be lined up at a table and everything, you know, and we're thinking, okay, maybe a couple members of each band. No, all the members of Exodus come walking out, all the members of Obituary come walking out, and we're just like freaking out. Like, oh my God, we're getting to meet the whole band, not just select members. And, you know, somebody asked, you know, what can we get signed? You know, how much can we get signed? They're like, oh, as much as you want. I'm like, oh, that would have been fucking nice to know ahead of time. Because they never told us in the email they sent us. They never, you know, nobody ever would answer me about how much can we get signed. So I only brought a couple things from Obituary. But luckily, they were part of the VIP packages. You get a poster. So as we were walking along the table, every member of the band for Exodus and Obituary signed our poster. And as you see, I've got mine framed up already. And I also took one of the little flyers that I took out of the lobby of the theater. And I had them sign that as well. And I got it here in my little notebook here with my ticket stub. And here's my little bracelet that I wore to get into the little VIP section of the actual venue. And my little parking stub. So, yeah, really cool to have them sign that. And of course, because I really didn't take anything in for Obituary to sign, because I didn't have the new album, and like I said, I didn't know who was going to be there, what I could get signed, and I didn't want to take something that, you know, maybe the people I was going to meet weren't on. But of course, you know, you find out later the whole band's going to be there, so I could have brought anything. So that was kind of disappointing. And of course, they also gave us this little lanyard. It has the VIP on the back, meet and greet only. And we got a really heavy quality tote bag with everything in it. And they also gave us a little koozie, which is really cool. And as you can see, I'm already putting it to use. Excuse me one moment. And what was really cool is that, you know, every guy was super fucking nice. You know, you walked up to them, they stuck out their hand like, hey, how you doing tonight? And it's like, oh, doing good. How are you doing? You know, doing great, you know. Hope you enjoy the show. And they signed it, and, you know, I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, I'm shaking hands with Gary Holt, man, you know, guitarist of Exodus. This is freaking awesome. And then it's like, holy shit, there's Zetro. I'm shaking hands with Zetro. And then, of course, I got down to the Obituary portion of the table, and there, you know, first one I meet is, you know, the man himself, John Tardy, and I'm like, you know, shaking his hand. I'm like, you know, how are you doing and everything? And he's like, doing good. And I slide, you know, he signed my poster, my little flyer. And then I slid over my stuff from Obituary that I wanted to get signed. And first thing he saw was this, my Cause of Death booklet. And it was just kind of funny because he saw it and he's like, yep. And he signed that. And then, as you can see, I also got Trevor Perez to sign it as well. And I got all the members, minus one, which I will explain in a minute, to sign the new album for me. So that was really fucking cool. And got down to Terry Butler, and the dude looks massive in pictures anyway, but this guy is big. Because I think he's probably almost a whole head taller than I am, and I'm almost 6 foot tall. And when I shook his hand, I thought I was shaking a bear paw. That's how big his hands were. And I was telling him, I was like, yeah, I said, nobody told us who we were going to meet. We didn't know we were going to meet all of you guys. And I said, they didn't tell us how much we could bring to get signed and everything. They're like, really? I said, yeah. I said, they just said, you know, we could bring a camera to get our pictures taken, but that's about it. They didn't say anything else. And he goes, oh, man, that sucks. I said, yeah. Because I told myself, I said, well, if I get to meet Terry Butler, I need to bring this, and this. You know, pretty much all the stuff that he was ever on. And he started laughing. He goes, you could have brought him, man. So I would have signed it. I was like, well, that's nice to know now. If I'd have known then, you know, before I went to the show, I'd have had all this shit for you to sign. But like I said, everyone was really fucking cool. Then we after everybody got all their stuff signed, we each got to take our pictures with the band, which my nephew was super nervous, and I was surprised he actually talked to the members when they talked to him, because he has this kind of, you know, thing where he gets really nervous around a lot of new people, and especially if it's somebody he's like a fan of as far as bands go. So, you know, and he was scared, you know, he was kind of scared to go up there, you know, to get his picture, and I could tell. So I said, I tell you what, we'll go up there together. And so all the picture, you know, the picture we got taken was of me and him together with Obituary. And then at the end, we all took a giant group photo, and then we shook everybody's hand. I got like a bro hug from John Tardy. You know, I went to go shake his hand, and he just, you know, grabbed my hand. I was like, yeah, enjoy the show. And I'm like, you have a great show, man. Good luck. And definitely an experience I will never forget. And yeah, as you can probably see, this is not signed by Donald Tardy, nor is the new album, which kind of makes me mad. I didn't realize my mistake until afterwards, like the next day. And here's why. When the table was set up, it started out with the Exodus guys going down into Obituary, ending with Trevor Perez. For some odd reason, Donald Tardy was sitting down at the very beginning of the table by Exodus. And for some reason, I just did not recognize him. So I didn't think to hand in my, Obituary stuff to get signed. So I was pretty pissed about it. I could kick myself for doing it. But then I thought, you know what? I've got his autograph on my poster. I got his autograph on my flyer. So I still have all the members of Obituary's autographs. And maybe down the line, if I go to see them again and I do the VIP thing, I can get him to sign both of these. So fingers crossed for that, but who knows. So yeah, that was my experience. Definitely a night I will never forget. I know they say that with every concert that I go to, but this was definitely a highlight for me, getting to meet Obituary and Exodus, and especially for Obituary, and to get them to sign my CDs for me. I wish I'd have known. I could have taken more, and I would have gotten a whole lot more. I could have my Death albums and my 6 Feet Under that Terry Butler was on, my Massacre book. It could be signed by him right now, but it's whatever. Maybe there'll be a chance down the line. Never know. So yeah, that is going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing, and until next time, stay brutal, and if you get a chance to catch this tour, definitely do so.